Als letzten heute hier auf der Masterclasses 1 Bühne haben wir Julian Doelfs und Julian kommt von TeamViewer. Da habe ich so ins Programm geguckt und habe gedacht, ist mir klar, was die machen. Habe auch manchmal ein IT-Problem. Dann habe ich gedacht, ja, hier, mach mal TeamViewer an. Dann schalten die sich auf meinen PC und dann machen die das wieder. Erstaunlicherweise machen die auch was anderes, wusste ich vorher auch nicht. Und deswegen sind wir ja alle hier, damit wir irgendwie neue Dinge lernen und neue Dinge kennenlernen. Und Julian erzählt ein bisschen über Pick by Vision und warum das eigentlich sinnvoll ist, als Teil des bunten Blumenstraußes, den man in der Logistik kennt. Kennen alle Pick by Light, Pick by Voice und all diese Geschichten. Pick by Vision ist wahrscheinlich, kann er mich auch korrigieren gleich, aus meiner Sicht eher so das neuere Thema, wenn es in diesem Bereich geht. Und warum TeamViewer das eigentlich macht und wie das dann aussieht, das erzählt er jetzt in den nächsten 30 Minuten. Viel Spaß dabei.
Yeah, thank you very much, Andreas, for the warm words of welcome. Just a quick note, presentation is going to be in English so that everybody can also understand me. You might notice one device on my head right now. Might seem, okay, the guy is crazy, looks like Robocop. In the end, this is not something, these devices are not a topic of the future. This is a topic of today. We provide on smart glasses, pickers in warehouses, any type of non-desk workforce with information that they need to carry out their tasks. I'm going to show you with the first video where we work and why we work there. So that is exactly our mission. What we try to achieve with TeamViewer Frontline, we want to empower frontline workers. People who have traditionally been lagging behind in terms of digitalization, in terms of digital tools. Most of us here today, we have a desk, we work at a desk, we have our digital tools available for us. But what happens with the people who do not work at a desk? And as we've seen, this is about 80% of global workforce. Why do we do that as TeamViewer? And you might know TeamViewer from about 15 years ago, founded in 2005 in Göppingen as a German company. We've always been in the topic of IT, remote access, where your IT person maybe in the company would hack into your computer in order to fix some problems with the help of our tools. But TeamViewer today is much more than that. We are not only focusing on the area of IT with remote access, but we are also going into the topic of OT, operational technology. We do that especially in the space of industrial AR technology, and this is what we do with Frontline today. Coming to logistics and specifically the challenges that we see today on the shop floor in warehouses with our manual labor workforce is that we have to overcome a lot of challenges as managers, but also directly on the shop floor. And we need to address topics like demand fluctuation, customer satisfaction is getting more and more important, transparency in my supply chain, that means I need digital processes. Process efficiency is always key, right? We always want to achieve productivity, we want to raise productivity, we want to raise quality as well, right? We want to deliver in full in time to our customers. Then we have certain topics that can address this. So inventory management, of course, getting more and more important. Technology that can help us in order to digitize processes. Workforce management, quality management, all of these are topics that are bothering us today in a warehouse, right? Going over to some more key challenges, right? About 66% of challenges are related to customer satisfaction, right? We all want to improve this. We want to increase our margins as well as logistics companies. We want to fulfill more orders in less time, right? And those are all very, very important topics that we can address with new technologies, like the technology of vision picking. And this is what we do today in many, many warehouses already, with the help of smart glasses, with our software, and other devices that will help us to really have a hands-free operation for the operators. Furthermore, there is always a disconnect between expectations of warehouse management and the actual workforce, right? So in the end, high cost through errors, I'm inflexible, I need to improve my efficiency. I have no documentation of what the guys are actually doing on the shop floor. The fluctuation in the market is also going to drive and influence my processes. And on the other hand, we have the operators that today oftentimes are not digitalized enough and do not have the digital tools available for them. That is something that we can solve with the technology. With our application area of XPick within the Frontline platform, we are able to really tailor-make processes according to the physical processes that are needed in the warehouses and digitize them. Give the operators a step-by-step guidance on what they have to do in single-order processes, but also going into the area of multi-order processes. And I'm going to show later as well on how we do that exactly. Looking at the workforce, specifically in gripping processes and in the picking process, we always strive to remain hands-free and really give the operators a tool that will not prohibit them from working, right? In a warehouse, you need both of your hands to work. So with your information on an HMD like this, plus finger scanner maybe, depending on the process, we will enable them to perform at their peak in terms of ergonomics, speed, and quality. Looking at the processes that we can cover. In the end, it's not only about order picking in a warehouse. We have many more manual processes that we have to solve every day. And in the end, the solutions that we bring can cover all manual processes in a warehouse specifically, all the way from inbound with goods handling in the inbound process, repacking, sorting of goods, going into replenishment services in the inventory space. Inventory and cycle counts getting more and more important, so I also want to have an accurate inventory, right? Going over to orders and outbound, of course, then the typical pick and pack solutions that you need, single multi-order. Also in the automotive and industries for production supply, sequencing, kitting processes. All of this is manual work that we can support and guide operators through on a day-to-day basis. Value-added services is another topic that we see more and more as logistics providers as well today, where we might even have to do a couple of small assembly tasks that the operators will have to perform, which they're not trained in. So there we go also in the topic of training and really step-by-step guidance on how to do a couple of manufacturing steps maybe for the end customers. So in the end, what we want to avoid is complexity in the work life. So we make it as easy as possible for the operators to get the information that they need at the time that they need it in a manner that is easy to understand. Looking at the screenshots behind me is visualizing a little bit our user interface, which is completely adaptable, streamlinable, and individualized to the specific process that I'm looking at. On the top right-hand side, you will see, for example, an example for a single order process. We will be able to visualize goods also to the operator so that they can make a direct transfer between what they see in front of them in the real world and then what they see also on the smart glass so that we reduce errors there. We are very, very flexible in terms of the validation that we do. What are we validating? Why are we validating it? And how are we validating it? So this can be changed on the fly also depending on the operator. Going on to the bottom right-hand side, here we can even cover multi-order processes, right? So that I can really visualize to the operators which bin are you supposed to put the items that you just picked in and make it through that visualization much faster for them to find, plus more secure in the process. How does it work? How does an operator start their day in the warehouse then with our technology? First of all, instead of getting your terminal scanner maybe that they've been using before, they're wearing a smart glass. They're putting on the smart glass, they're logging in a secure way, individualized on their specific person. They will then receive their tasks for the day and the processes that they need to tackle. And then they can immediately start work, go through their different pick locations, go through their day completely in a digitalized step-by-step manner, completely traceable as well, including what we then do, the interfaces between WMS and our systems so that we have all of that information that you need directly in the back in your WMS as well. Looking a little bit at hardware, and this is always something that many customers today are still afraid of, change process. Yeah? What kind of hardware am I giving my operators? Because that's what they can see, that's what they feel, that's what they wear for the entire day. Good news is we have solutions for every taste and need. In the end, we work hardware agnostic. The software can be deployed on many, many different devices. These are a couple of smart glasses that we work with. Music Zen 400, Railway HMT1, Glass EE2, all of them being monocular devices where we work more in the what we call the assisted reality space, right? So this is acting more as a heads-up display. Going then also, and this is especially interesting for small assembly steps, for training purposes, for inspections of any kind, we can also go into the 3D world with the Microsoft HoloLens and then tackle more the real augmented reality world with our software today. Now you might say, okay, well, have you done it before? I spoke about it. It's not a topic of tomorrow, it's a topic of today already. This is why I brought also one case with me today where we've successfully deployed our solution for multiple hundreds of pickers that are using our solution day by day for 8-10-hour shifts, non-stop. This is something that we did with Coca-Cola. And here you can also see the video.
Camera. Tu ok. Camera. Exit.
And also to prove that that is not just some fancy innovation video that we did, also brought a couple of figures with me today. What we aim to achieve at Coca-Cola was majorly to improve picking accuracy, improve the quality of the process, so that we would not have any returns, that we can eliminate returns as much as possible going out of those warehouses that we work in. What we achieved with the overall solution that entailed, on the one hand side, the hardware, in this case, the Railway HMT1. On the other hand side, an integration to the SAP WMS that Coca-Cola Hellenic Bottling Company was using, or is using today. And we really might try to make this process as hands-free as possible, while giving enough process security through validation as well. In this scenario, we scan directly also with the smart glass. We can do that in this case, because it's just a ground floor storage. Mostly case-to-pallet picks that we cover there. In the end, what we achieved and what we strived for is really a high picking accuracy, what we achieved with 99.99% in those warehouses. So it brings really value to the customer. Usually when you increase quality, process quality, typically you would assume that you're getting slower in your process. More validations, every validation typically costs time. However, what we saw in those warehouses is that we could even increase the speed, performance, productivity of the workers by 10% as well. Looking at a couple of more customer successes that we've had over the days, the years that we've been deploying these solutions are, for example, at DHL, Coca-Cola Hellenic Bottling Company, Schnellecke, Akko, Fendt. And here we really solve many, many different processes. And this is important to take away. Warehousing processes are, if you just look from a high-level view, are always relatively similar. But if you really go into the depth of processes, you need to adapt to what is really needed. We're not only working on a happy path, picking the right goods from the right location and the right amounts, putting them to the right places. That is the easy part, but we also have to address process exceptions in order to really drive the business into a proper, innovative, and digital solution. And that's what we really have to cover. You might now ask, okay, how do I do it myself? How could this be applicable in my business? And how would I even set something like this up? In the end, it's project management, right? And we are there also as a partner to fully support you from conceptualization of a project. So scope definition, project definitions, what do I want to achieve? Where are my pain points in my operations? And we come in more also as consultants and say, okay, with the technology that we bring, what can we do? Which processes can we solve? Why are they in need of solving? And what do I also expect from a new technology? Then also going into the topic of hardware provision. As you see, we have quite a lot of different options in terms of smart glasses. Sometimes a smart glass might not be valid for that process. Maybe we don't even have a lot of walking distances in the warehouse where I would need something like a smart glass really because it's flexible, right? It gives me that hands-free process. We can also talk about deploying the software on other devices as well. Looking, for example, at forklift operations. Could also install our software and visualize the process for an operator on a forklift terminal, for example. Right? And these are always things that we have to take into consideration, that it's not only the software part of it, but it's the overall concept of the project in order to really make it work, and make it work in a manner that it really provides value to our customers. Infrastructure is always a topic, so we are very, very experienced in terms of interfacing with different WMS solutions. We are an SAP certified partner as well today as TeamViewer, and these are typical challenges that we are always overcoming together with our customers to provide interfaces really quickly to a WMS and make it as easy and smooth as possible for you to go really venture into a new technology like vision picking. Typically, after a go-live, then we're also there by your side with proper support of this solution, really giving you what we call hypercare in order to really make this successful and then let you run by yourself. Typically, a project like this can be implemented in 3 months into a warehouse where we would then go live and really start using our solutions productively and effectively. So key takeaways from the session, and I hope that you could give that, is that what we try to do with technology and with our technology, with vision picking, is that we overcome challenges. We overcome high error rates, we overcome inefficient processes, we completely digitalize them, and you're not going to have to waste any time with extensive hardware or software installations. We can be there by your side as a partner to really guide you from step 0 to a full deployment within 3 months. And we can really fully digitalize your process. Yeah. Make it visible. Make it really visible for you so that you know exactly what is going on the shop floor. What do you need to change? Analyze the data as well that we're giving you, and also make certain amendments in your processes after that, and we are always there by your side. That would be it from my side, from the presentation point of view so far. What I would like to offer you as well is that you can ask a couple of questions. I mean, we're a small group. If you do have any questions that you would like to have addressed right now, please come forward, raise your hand, happy to answer. Or also please, if you want to know more about the deployments that we've had and the deployments that we're going to do, visit us at the booth as well. Come by, and we can definitely have a chat on how we would set up a project maybe for you.
So it seems like there's no questions. Decent presentation, obviously. Everything is crystal clear. Let me take a question. What I always have in mind when I see these devices and you're wearing it, and it's obvious for everyone, how is it with the acceptance of the workers? How do you experience in the projects? How does workers like? You know, there's always these things, there's a new technology. Let's take an example, there's pick by voice. People are annoyed by wearing headphones. People are annoyed by talking to a machine. How is it about wearing this little beast?
Well, in the end, it's all about change management, right? It's about culture also, how you work together with your employees also on the shop floor and how they can also drive the process as well. So what we typically try to do is to also get them involved as much as possible. So the operators on the shop floor, get them involved as early as possible so that we can also make decisions in terms of device choice, comfort, because in the end of the day they have to wear it and they have to use it. When it comes to acceptance in general of the technology, what we see in our projects, I believe we do quite a good job, and the companies that we work with and our customers that we work with, they do quite a good job in that part, right? And you really can tell also an operator, with this technology, it's going to make their life easier. It's going to be more ergonomic for them, yeah? Free your hands, right? If you have a terminal scanner today, it's not always the most ergonomic way of working, right? So it's also there to help them.
Agree with that. And as you offered already, I consider to make your own picture, go to the TeamViewer booth and wear it. Just try it out. Just see how it is. Let me ask you one more question before we go to the break. How do you see the development in this area? Do you believe that there's more things in regards to software coming up pretty soon? Or do you believe that there's more hardware development to make them even smaller and whatever kind of reality in there?
I mean, it goes both ways, right? It's an entire ecosystem when we deploy these things, right? We have to consider both. On the one hand side, hardware capabilities, on the other hand, software. What we can say from the software side is that we are constantly driving innovation, also for us, together with our customers oftentimes as well. And there are always topics coming up, like new topics like AI engines, image recognition, object recognition. These are topics that we work for. In terms of hardware development, we also see an entire ecosystem of different manufacturers in terms of more monocular devices, so assisted reality devices, but also in the space of MR, going more into that direction of the HoloLens or other vendors.
All right, then thank you very much, Julian.